Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night UFO spiritual talk show. Good to have you all with us. User 155, Jeff Pruitt. Everybody coming in, welcome. Hey, Johnny. Good to have you with us. Jenks, thank you for the heart. We're glad to have everybody with us here tonight. And of course, we have our Apple cider. Hey, Terry Carr, welcome. Lacey, welcome. Nick, Jenks 216, welcome. Rhonda, everybody coming in here. Marinette, peace, love, and light. So we're just getting started here. Hey, Lavella, good to see you. Young Skywalker, hey, good evening. Mar, good evening. And user 155, thanks for the likes. Andy, good to see you. If I miss somebody here or there, understand I see everybody. Much love, yes, always. Bahama Mama, Monty, welcome to the show. Louis Manuel, welcome. Dawn Elizabeth, welcome to the show. This is Encounters. Hey, hi. Hi, hey. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. Sagittarius 5 is with us. All these great names. Hey, from Florida. Hey, Gina. Good to see you, Gina. Let's see who we got. Just names are going so quickly around here. Darkness Shines. Mildis, welcome to the show. Hey, we got Clifford in here with the white beard. Welcome, Clifford. Romeo Smith, welcome to the show. T. Selman. So I've been watching the latest video footage from Bashar to is Jalanka. Jalanka, who communicates with Bashar. And the newest videos coming from Jalanka are very interesting. Hey, Mercury Man. How's it going in Vermont? Good to see you, brother. Young Skywalker, thanks for the likes. Jazz, welcome to the show. We're running a little bit late tonight. Second night in a row. It's after 11:30. But this is late night, isn't it? And this is Encounters. That's good and cold, yeah. It's going to get a little bit warmer here in a few days, I think. Check this out. Well, you're checking Encounters. That's a good name. Check this out. Copy. Lynn Mills, welcome. Hey, Kit Kat. Good to see you, Kit Kat. Andy. Uper, 2000. That's a good name. Uper 2001. And we're glad to have everybody coming in here. Please, hey, Alicia, good to see you. Susie Beach, thank you for the heart. Hey, Susie, I hope you're doing well. We appreciate all your gifts and support. Micah, something, Micah. JDM07, welcome. Good to see you too, Kit Kat. Young, let's see, you got Andy. Hey, Andy, thanks for the likes. This is something. Welcome. One joined. Hey, one. And you're watching the number one. Hey, Nighttime, you have a question? Hold on just a moment. You're watching the number one UFO spiritual talk show on social media and even on major media right here on TikTok. It could have been anywhere, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. It's on TikTok. But you can watch my shows that are on here. If you miss a show, you can watch it on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on TikTok. So how's that? So if you miss a show, hopefully everyone has YouTube. You can watch any of my past shows right on TikTok, right on YouTube. Hey, Johnny, good to see you, brother. Hey, friends with fairies, good afternoon, good evening. Filetta, welcome, Filetta. I try to get people's names right. It's been in the 50s in Florida. I have had to wear socks. Oh, wow. A little bit cool down there in Florida. Hey, Cat Mama. Nyla's World, thank you for the roses. Can you explain who Bashar is? Is he channeled? So this is my take. Only person I've ever really looked at is Jalanka and his communications with the Essassani and Bashar. All the other channels I throw out the window. But Bashar has been pretty accurate. He is in alignment with a gentleman named Daryl Anka, whose brother is Paul Anka, the famous singer from the 60s. So there's Daryl Anka and then Paul Anka. Paul Anka doesn't communicate with anything, although his music. Daryl Anka is the brother who has been consistent for years, even before there was probably any major stuff going on, what they call communications. So the latest information is that Daryl, that we're going to get into it a bit, is that the Bashar of the SSINI are talking about this year, or the latter part of 2024. So the timeline has sped up. I was talking about the timeline. Hey, sissy, good to see you. Teresa, Lacey, everybody out there, nighttime, thanks for the likes. Nicholas, Gonzalez. So we're going to get into this because it's really imperative that people understand that this is going to happen. It's not like it's going to happen 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. This is it. This is the countdown. This is what people have wanted to wait for years. You know, it sporadically happened with the contactees at Giant Rock. That was really the big beginning of initial contact sporadically on our planet. But now, hey, Monica, hey, pretty angel, I'm going to get into this really deeply here. No skirting the issue. No running away from it. We're all going to run towards it. How are we going to do that? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, I saw you for 4 a.m. It jumped all over in split seconds and totally erratic. It disappeared. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Folletta, when did that happen? Folletta, when did that sighting happen? Hey, Andy. I'll be right back. Okay, Teresa. Hey, DZ. Robin, welcome to the show. Monica, thanks for the likes. Hey, Lisa. Green Giant. That's a good name. The Green Giant's with us. I saw your commercials on TV when I was growing up. I like that name. But anyway, I want to get into this whole thing with contact. So I was watching I reposted it, the latest video from Bashar through Dalanka and the communications. Darlene, thank you for the heart. So now the timeline is still getting up to 2027, but now the timeline has been kind of changed slightly, that it's changed towards the latter part of 2024 into 2025. There should be initial things starting to happen. As we get into 2027, that's going to be impact time. So we're not that far away. I mean, we're now 24, 20, you know, you're going to see stuff really starting to happen this year. I think, everything that I hear from Daryl Anka's communications with Bashar confirms everything I know internally. When we do our CE5 events in Connecticut, this is crucial to understand. So I want to say it right now. My internal meditations, which are very clear. Matter of fact, today, even when I was working, I was having these meditations in between helping people. That's going to change. It's gradually going to change. Carl, will we have to still pay bills? When we switch into, I'll get into that too a little bit. But there's going to be certain things that are going to start happening. I do believe that our initial events here in Connecticut are going to be amping up contact. The two events that are happening. One, April 13th, that we're putting together the Ashtar Contact Group, and also the event that Grace is coordinating beautifully in Ledyard. These are going to be both very important events. And I do believe we're going to have some initial visual contact to start, but I think the initiation of what we're doing is going to be very important. So we'll get into that a little bit here. We're going to take you on a little bit of a story, so to speak, cosmic story, a story that you might get some information from the commander. Okay, and we'll do guest interviews here too. But I really want to get into it. I don't know about you. I can't know about each of you, but I can tell you that we are really going to see things happen this year into 2025. So the timeline on Earth timeline has been changed. I didn't watch all of the video that was with CmdrAleon, the latest video footage, but I did watch the latest video. And I've been talking about contact slightly before I came on here onto TikTok. I started talking about it in my Ashtar groups, which I have on Facebook and in general. I've talked about it somewhat on my radio show for a while. But here on TikTok, I'm really going to start talking about it because I think people need to know that there's going to be a lot of people that talk about UFOs that have no idea what they're talking about. I've monitored very quietly some of these lives of people jumping on the UFO bandwagon that have no idea what they're talking about. You know, hey, Matt, good to see you. Hey, Chris. You know, and so, hey, Mike G. Penny Stacks. Hey, One Toyota, thank you for the roses. So I want to get into it. You want to know what's going on? You're going to find out right here from the commander. And there's certain people, many of you out there, some of you out there can feel it in your bones that there's something going on, something different. In your whole life, you've never felt this way. Be honest with yourselves. You've never, ever felt the way you're feeling right now. And the reason why, hey, Bobby Rocks, hey, brother, the reason why you're feeling the way you feel is because it is a vibrational shift. The vibrational shift is affecting your mind, your body, and your soul. All three things: mind, body, and soul. All three areas. Nighttime says the last 2 days. Hey, and James is out there. Hey, James. So I'm going to get into it. The commander is going to get into contact. What that means for everyone, not just for individually me or one other person or this person or that person, all of you. Because you're all part of a collective of what's going to happen. You're all part of it. You're not separated from it. You're not separated from each other. Hey, Courtney, good to see you. Hey, Jim Bale, hello. So we're going to get into it. And if you have any questions for me about contact, hey, Grace, good to have you with us. We're going to get into it. So I've been having communications telepathically the last day or two, really strong. I've been feeling very strong communications. And my energy is very clear now. A whole different frequency shift. The contact I'm getting is very different. The spiritual beings that are communicating with me are very, very high frequency and very, very beautiful. And they are very considerate of my broadcast. I've amped up my energy so much now in my own physical body, and you will too. It's not just me. All of you at some point are going to have a vibrational amplification of your body. What does that mean? That means your body is going to amplify more of the light energy within you that's coming from the universe. So all this energy that's coming in as the planet and the universe goes up affects every planet, affects every life form, affects every person. Do you understand what I mean? Affects every life form, the whole universe, every person. That means you. All right? So that's why it's so important that people get centered now, do the work to get, as Bashar would say, don't get involved in latest communications, and I concur with it, is stay away from people with conspiracies and all these other things going on out there on social media. Get prepared for contact. Focus on contact. Focus on Christ consciousness. Focus on centering your energy in that love frequency. And stay grounded, yeah. I think Grace says, you mean ground. Yeah, stay grounded. And it's so important. Hey, Lilac, when is now? So between now and 2027. As we get into this year, more to the later part of this year, you should feel increased energies coming about. Okay, grounded. Yes, I know what you meant. Grounded. Don't be ungrounded. Be grounded too. And grounded means being centered, grounded, knowing, going about your day. Don't drive your car in la la land and end up going off the road. Be grounded. And at the same token, when you're home, center yourself. When you're at a park or at a quiet time at a beach or wherever it is, find that time to center, to get in connection with who you are. Because when this contact happens, it's going to blow the planet's minds up. The contact is going to be seen by people all over the world, right? It's not just for a select few million who are awakened souls or awakened in Christ consciousness or our star seed. The galactic levels of light that are coming are going to affect the whole planetary system, the whole Earth, okay? And the more I tried to conceal this for a while and tried to say, well, you know what? I can't keep this inside of me any longer. I've got to just go on the show and tell people. Because if I'm feeling it, I want to know that other people understand what I'm feeling. So I said, you know what? Tonight, I'm just going to tell it. Tell it as I see the confirmation from Bashar, which I've been very quietly watching, and my own inner understandings, which I have for myself. I always go by my inner understandings, as well as you should. Hey, Heidi and Jenny, Brian, Micro Globe One. Hey, thank you, Micro Globe One. You seem all right too, brother. Good to have you with us. So, all my information is not channeled. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have some magical cards in my hand. Never have. You know me. Everything I do is straight from the heart. My information is direct. I'm telepathic communicator. For those that are new here, I originally came from Mars. I worked with a group called the Ashtar Galactic Command, which were Christed beings from the galactic levels before there was any internet. So before there was websites. I've been a contactee since a kid with positive ET or beings, star beings. So I'm always pretty centered in what I'm doing. So right now when I'm doing it, hey, Linda Love, lovely, good to see you. Conspiracy, I say it louder for the potentials in the back. Definitely the people in the back row, welcome. So people need to really every day, and I'm talking K-Quasar every day now, when you have some freedom. I know everyone has things to do during the day, during the week, whatever it is. Find that space. Find that point in time where you will sit down and you will learn how to meditate. If you don't meditate, learn how to do a Christ in meditation. And if you ask me what a Christ in meditation is, I will share that with you. But you have to get ready. Hey, baby cat. Everyone needs to get ready now. This is not like we're playing for another 20 years and someone's saying, oh, tomorrow they're going to come and everything will be beautiful and there'll be a ship coming down in your yard. It doesn't work that way. That's why, hey, Blondie, good to see you. Linda, I'm a guy. I'm just noticing some new people. You're welcome to Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. So I'm on a little bit of a dissertation tonight before we do anything else. I'm going into contact. I'm talking about contact. I'm going to spread the word about contact, and I want you to get ready for contact. So you're going to see a lot of stuff on the internet, on YouTube, whatever, websites, even on TikTok, misinformation. And I say misinformation, things that are not going to lead you to where you need to be, And it's so important that people, as Grace said, stay grounded and also center. It must be centered. If you're not centered, as we go into this gradual increase of contact, you will not be prepared. No one out there can prepare you for what's happening except yourself. No one's going to hold your hand and say, hold my hand and get me ready for contact. Please, could you hold my hand for a little bit longer? Okay? Getting centered and getting ready is learning how to meditate. Some of you know how to meditate very well, and some of you might do it once in a while, and some of you don't know how to do it. And that's okay if you don't know how to do it. But learn. study, center, meditate. In those quiet moments when you're centered and meditating, and you're saying, I wish to connect with my Christed star family, just like a mantra, Om, you, Om, you, Om, you. As you meditate, as you center, as you focus, your star family will hear you, believe it or not. Why do you have to do this? To get prepared for contact. That's why, Lalik. Because it's going to be happening between now and 2027. Definitely before 2027. People need to get centered. Yes, go about your life, enjoy your day, go to the beach, go hiking, go out shopping, whatever you want to do. But get time to center your mind, body, and soul. Center. Okay? And I'm glad you asked that question. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them tonight. Because when I watched these videos, the latest video I reposted, it was something I already knew, but to hear it from CmdrAleon's connection with Bashar and the Essassani, it tells me a great deal. I read into the energy of the message, and it's very much accurate. Very accurate. So we want people to, why contact? Because I'm glad you asked that question. So Lilac wants to know why contact? Because it's time. It's time for the people of this planet to be contacted. There are people from other planetary systems that have been here for billions of years before our time. There's been contacts on this earth before, during Atlantis, Lemuria, way before that. This planet's billions of years old. And now, why are they coming, Farm Girl? Because we are part of them. They are part of us. We are part of a galactic family that exists throughout the multiverse. They are our star family. So they say, what's a star family? Ask me what a star family is. A star family is that you are born here as a human being, but you are connected to star people. All of you are, even if you don't even know about it. You're connected to star people. Now, when you start doing the things I'm mentioning, the centering, the meditation, the Christed meditation, you will eventually, if you listen within yourself, you'll have that connection occur with your star family. And when they come, they're not going to be holding our hand. They are going to be equals with us. Even though they are spiritually more advanced as our star family, they're going to help us. But we have to help ourselves. They're not going to just drag us around on a little motor scooter and say, here's what you have to do. We're the ones who have to do it. What is happening is the reconnection that has been so longed for in current human history is now going to happen. And it's just the way it's supposed to be. Lacey, the cat's doing well. She's actually sleeping, I think. And we don't get into, Jack, things about flat or round, or we're not talking about that. There are other TikTokers that get into that. This is a show about spiritual UFO areas. So no talking about the earth being flat, round, or purple, or you will not be here. That's one thing we stay away from. So it's extremely important that people, why not support societal growth when evolving? We are evolving. We have been evolving. We came all from the stars. All of us. Now, you might say, I don't remember coming from the stars. When I say you're coming from the stars, I don't mean from a physical star, that you came from another planetary system. You came here as a human being, but you forgot that you came from another planet. Most humans forget and have forgotten that they're not from here. They say, what is he talking about? I'm from a star. So I'm from another planet. You're from another world. You just have to go within to realize that. Do I think we're ready? Yes, we will be. Ready or not, here they come. You better get ready. Really, you better get ready. You better learn how to get ready, folks. If you're not ready, you better get on the ticket there. You better get on the train. You better do everything you can spiritually, cosmically, to get yourself ready. Forget all the websites, forget all the scare tactics, forget all the garbage on the internet. Prepare yourself for contact. No, you don't have a choice. No, nobody has a choice. I mean, you have a choice to try to ignore it. But why would you ignore it? Why would you ignore space people that are coming back here, star people that are coming back here to reconnect with us? Why would you ignore it? Why would anybody ignore it? You know? So the thing is, people will say, well, 70 years of cover up by the world governments regarding extraterrestrial intelligence. Now the star people are coming back, and people, you want to run away, hide in a cave somewhere? There's really no way around it. So I'll be honest. It's not a scary thing. Why should it be scary? What are you scared about? This is what you have to deal. I want to deal with the people that are scared. What are you scared about? You should be more scared of the people running the world governments that have polluted the world, used nuclear weapons on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, people that are starving to death on your planet. And you're afraid of people that are coming here, that are spiritual beings that are coming here to reconnect with us. You're scared of that. But you're not scared of nuclear weapons on your planet. You're not scared of all the wars that are going on. You're not scared that maybe we'll blow up our own planet. But you're more scared of people coming here from other worlds to assist us and to be with us. That's what you're scared of? Reconnect your brain and switch it. Get ready. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. Fear is your worst enemy. It really is. The human mind creates this fear that I don't understand. Fear is your worst enemy. How many people here are scared of contact? Really? Come on now. We're not an experiment. We are part of a star family. There's no experiment here. We are part of a galactic family. There's no experiments. There's the time for divine contact, and the time is now. I was just going to say you should be afraid of our governments. More than the governments. Don't be afraid of the governments. Just don't be afraid of anything. The sphere thing, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm 73 years old. I'm going to see or experience contact. Yes, you will. Gary G, you will. I'm not scared. I'm looking forward to it. Microglobe kept going. I'm just reading some people's comments here. Good. Don't be scared. And when you see anything on YouTube or TikTok that is a fear-based video about contact, disregard it, throw it out the window. Don't believe any of it. It's all lies. There are people that want to mess things up here and confuse people, but it's not going to be the way you think it is. Yeah, DZ, you always use caution. But when the light beings come, the star people come, you won't have to use caution because you'll know who they are. You'll know who they are by their actions. And their actions will be the actions of love, compassion, and understanding. That's what's going to happen. So this message needs to be set. Yes, in a sense, they are our ancestors. They're our space sisters and brothers. So in a way, that's true. They are our ancestors. Or we are their ancestors, or we're connected, but we're all connected. Hey, Gary. So if you have any questions for me on this, please ask, because I'll give you the answer. No bad beings, not in this situation, no. The bad beings are being kicked out of the universe. They've been really kicked out for a number of years. The galactic fleets that are coming here between now and 2027 are going to be seen all over the world. These fleets will be seen in various types of spaceships. And you'll know when they come, you'll know. That's why it's important for people to get prepared. That's why the Pentagon has been so nervous. You know why the Pentagon's been so nervous? Because they know it's going to be happening, and there's nothing they can do about it. They can't sideswipe it. They can't cover it up. There's nothing they can do. The Greys have nothing to do with it. The Greys are going to be kept away from this whole thing. What you call the Zeta. The Zeta and all those other beings that were doing all their hanky-panky on Earth, not going to happen anymore. They're going to not be allowed here. And they're afraid, they're the ones that are afraid of the star people. Give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back here. Sorry about that. So it's really important that people understand the gravity of the situation. Okay? And like I said, I will get into some interviews, but this is more important than the interviews right now. Hey, Jerkle of a lot. I hope you do feel better. The Draconians, they're going to be not allowed to come here. Any negative ETs that have been here for 30 or 40 years on the planet doing their thing, they're going to be way out of here. I'm going to say it right now. None of that's going to be allowed. You know, the star fleets that are coming here are going to make sure that there's no negative anything here. The whole energy is going to shift, not only on our planet Earth, it's shifting throughout our universe. It's all shifting. There's no grays. There's actually Zeta. There might be some Zeta that are good, just like human beings, and there are other Zeta that are bad. That'll be determined at the time when contact happens. But again, most of what you know are those beings that have been affecting people negatively will not be allowed on our planet. They are most of them have left. And if there's any still vestiges of those types of beings doing things, they're going to be off the planet in a millisecond. They're not going to stay. The energy is getting too high for them. Did you go on your encounter? You said you were going on up in the ship a few weeks ago. We've switched gears. And as a matter of fact, what we're doing is we're waiting to the warmer weather. We're doing a gathering of our C5 group quasar April the 13th at an apple orchard. And then our friend Grace is doing a major event too in Ledyard, Connecticut here in the U.S. That's going to be on the 20th. And we'll certainly have more information to share as we get closer to that period. So we have two very important contact events that are happening here. If anybody has any other questions for me, please do ask. If you want to come on live and you have 200 plus followers, you can come on here on the show and ask me questions regarding this. I'm an open contact book tonight on this subject, so I'll be happy to answer your questions. We appreciate all the gifts so far. We are trying to get to 100,000 likes tonight, so please support. Don't let just a few people tap the button with their hands or fingers. Everybody, please show your support for this program. How would a contact start? Do they come White House or phone computer? Neither one. Contact will happen directly. It'll be eventually physically with people. I don't know how they're going to proceed, whether they're going to land ships in a desert. That part I don't know yet. But we will have, when we have the mass contact, at that point, people will understand how it will happen. Liz Castro, thank you. Thank you. Catherine, take care. Have a great night. And again, I will answer all your questions. Not all your questions. I will try to answer any questions regarding this that you have regarding contact in the next few years. The desert is always a place. It could be in the mountains. It could be in the woods, in a field, but it's going to happen. Now, I can't speak about the whole Earth, where these ships are going to be, how they're going to do it. But I do know visually that's going to be the first biggest part of it is visual contact. The second part of that is directly connecting with the people on our planet. Goddess says, they are in place. They are outside my building right now in Brooklyn, New York. Hey, Goddess. Hey, welcome, user 244. Anthony Eaton and all the people. Admit to, what about the mixed children? Are they letting them stay? What do you mean mixed children? Teresa, yes, it will be eventually a mass contact event. What is the mixed children? Astral or physical? This will be physical. No astral. This is going to be very real, very direct, very physical. I'm going to try to answer these questions. Admit to, you mentioned mixed children. What do you mean mixed children? Will we still have to keep working? I can't speak for that kind of stuff. That's a great question. Will we have to still be working? I'm assuming it will be a gradual transformation. I don't think they're going to just, jump our system. I think it'll be gradual. Oh, the Indigo Kids, yes. Oh, the Indigo Kids are part of the whole thing. Of course, the Indigo Kids, yes. So it has nothing to do with people of color or anyone being colored. It has to do with human beings who are awakened. It has to do with the whole planet. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you are. Everybody's included. There's no one person group better than the other group. Throw that out the window. That's not the way it's going to work. I'm really focusing on questions here of what you want to ask me regarding this, and I will try to answer the questions. Anita, welcome to the show. Lauren, welcome. Miss Queen, good to see you. They are going to land at all military bases and coastal lines. That I don't know. I don't think they really care about the military bases. I think they're going to land wherever they want to land. When they do land, it makes no difference. To be direct about it. Any other questions people might have, please don't be afraid to ask. The Anunnaki are part of the galactic group. They are not, people always talk about the Anunnaki as being like the big group. They're not the big group. The Anunnaki are part of a galactic grouping of many planetary worlds. They're just one of many different planetary groupings of star people. Yeah, it'll be alien doll self-disclosure. As we are going into it now, self-disclosure is coming from outer space. It will not be coming from any government. The disclosure is going to be coming from above you. It's going to be coming from the space people, not from your government or any government. They had their chance. The so-called disclosure was a farce. This is going to be way different. Do you believe the Earth? No. So let me say something. CHW, this is not a program where we discuss whether the Earth is a box, a paper cut, flat, round, whatever. I'll put it this way. All the planets within every solar system are round. We're not going to get into discussion about it. Every planetary system, no matter where it is in any universe, is a circular system. But we're just going to stick on the topic. But no, I don't get into that. Will the okay you just answered? Let's see here. Are the Earth governments going to try to control the narrative? They might try, the media might, but they can't. They had their chance to control the narrative for 70 years, and it's up. They had their chance to tell the truth for the last 70 years, and they lied. And now that contact is going to happen, they're probably hiding in their rooms trying to figure out what to do now, because they lied to the people all over the planet. They lied for 70 years. So this is what's happening. Contact. It's not a fantasy. It's not something that people dream of anymore. It's not something that someone wishes for anymore. It's really going to happen. It's not going to be an astral projected thing or a dream state thing. You're going to have a physical reality check. Physical reality check. That physical reality check, with your own eyes, you're going to see these ships when they come. These ships from all over the world, over the universe, that are going to come here. And they're not that far away, folks. They really aren't. And if you're sensitive to energy, you will feel the energy from these ships. the space people. You will feel it. I feel it. You can feel it. Hey, Squishy, thank you for the heart. That's right, Marty, you're right. Every culture historically has historic things regarding the space people. It goes back into ancient history of our planet. The government might try, but Lilac says, why lie? Because they've been lying for 70 years. They didn't want people to know the truth regarding the fact that we're being visited by people from other planets. They wanted to keep the narrative. They'd always, from the times of Roswell all the way to now, they've always lied. But now they have no choice, you see. No worries about radiation. I mean, radiation from the spaceships? If you're talking about radiation, there's no radiation. These ships do not run on any kind of nuclear energy. Their ships operate on a very natural energy system, way beyond our own planetary understanding. Yeah, they're probably freaking out. I'm sure they are. And if any of them are listening to my show, I'm sure they're freaking out with the information I'm telling people right now. And I don't care. I'd rather have them freak out than have you freak out. And if you're going to freak out, I hope you freak out in a good way. Are you sure we're not their food? That's all garbage. You know, all that stuff on the internet. I've seen those websites ever since the internet started, and all the YouTube videos with these negative people saying we're their food. No, we're not their food. We're their star family. We're connected. We are connected with these beings and people from other planets. We're not food. That's all a lie. The stuff that's projected on the internet that, oh, we're food for these beings from other planets. That's all sci-fi garbage. I say it straight out. I'm glad you asked that question, Janet. My answer is it's garbage. Don't believe it. If you see it on any YouTube videos or on TikTok or Facebook, ignore it. It's lies. It's not true. I think the contact is daily, just not seen. You're right. Higher than your average. Individually, people are having contact. You're absolutely correct. A lot of UFO sightings in Florida, especially Tampa area. Tampa, I hear, had some sightings. Somebody came on the other night, told me there were sightings in the Tampa area the other night. I hope it's going to be a peaceful situation. I think the world governments have no choice to make sure it's peaceful. If the world governments and militaries try to do any actions that are with weapons, those weapons will be dismantled electronically. I can tell you that all the weapon systems on the planet will be neutralized, and there's no way that any government on Earth can shoot any weapons at these spaceships. And if they were to try, they'd be foolish. They'll just knock the systems right out. The ships are all different sizes, correct? Yes, they are. I think it's Retic 67. Yes, that's a good question. Yes, they are. Are they bipedal like us? Can you explain what that word bipedal means? I've never heard that before, Teresa. It's going to shock people because of their religion. Probably. The religious people will be shocked, but they'll get over it. Why do wars exist? I can answer that question living on this planet in our current history. There have been wars for billions of years on Earth. From the Roman Empire to whatever, there have been wars. Lemuria, Atlantis. There have been wars all the time. Why do wars exist? A lot of times it has to do with power, with greed, with people forgetting who they are, where they came from. They get their egos too big, and their egos get so big that they want to control somebody else's ego. There's a lot of different reasons. There's not one answer to that question. 0-point gravity uses an integrator, not nuclear. Yes. Yes, we have to be calm and curious. Yes, that's right, Kit Kat. They are vegetarians. So just to let people know, the space people that are coming here do not eat meat. They're vegetarian. They are vegetarians. They eat fruits and vegetables. They don't eat any meat on their planets. They are vegetarians. Let's see, brother and sisters change Earth. Let's see. Ren says, I saw the triangle one 3 times. Last was 2 weeks ago. Interesting, Ren. User 994 says, wow, so many lies, excited to see them. Yes. You know, the one thing people have to understand here, on your internet, there's so many lies, so many agendas, so many people that are creating fear-based stuff. And it can also be our own governments coming in on the internet, very quietly creating websites and posts that are very negative about what's going to happen. And some of that's going to happen. But the truth is, they're all lies. It's all fear-based. Okay? Why the fear on the news? Because if the news keeps promoting its fear, most of the news that you see on Earth is based on limitation. You're not going to hear this on like CBS News or BBC News or CBC or China News Agency or Russia News Agency. They're not going to talk about this. But even though they're not talking about it, the governments of the world know that this is going to happen. They know that there's going to be contact. They all know. No one's going to be vaporized. Who's going to be vaporized? I think it's Akase's wisdom. Can you explain what you mean by vaporized? I've always been, Beth Harris says, I've always thought we weren't alone. Why are they coming? They're coming because they're our star family. Do you understand, Beth, what a star family is? If you don't, I'll answer that question. Oh, people are cruel? So that no one's going to be vaporized. What people are going to be vaporized? Can you explain that? Tried to see war make me sad, how people mad together. Do some of us have some of their DNA? We all have galactic DNA. It's just that it has not been activated. Many of us, we're all born here, but many people in my audience around the world have remembered that they're from the stars. However that works, they remember. You know who you are out there. So we all have DNA that is, in a sense, galactic, but we don't remember. It's not been activated, so to speak. Johnny Singler, why cow mutilations? The cow mutilations were either done by our own government or by lower level extraterrestrials that are living in a third dimensional reality. But the star beings have nothing to do with that. The star people have nothing to do with that. That was all lower vibrational stuff in the last 70 years. You're not going to see much of that anymore either, by the way. Do they like food and drinks on Earth? I can't speak for that. I don't know that they do. They're vegetarians. So if anything, when the contact happens, they already have their own food. It's all vegetables and fruits. They don't eat anything like meat or anything. Why do we eat meat? That's $1 million question. I couldn't answer that. But we do. I mean, we do have people that eat both meat and vegetables, and then we have people that are vegan and vegetarian on Earth. So I can't really answer that question. Berube says, I see them often. Greg, no Project Bluebeam. Throw that out the window. Throw that whole Bluebeam thing out. Because the contact we're talking about has to do with our star family, not with an Earth-based agenda or fake stuff like this Project Bluebeam people keep promoting. Let's see here. I'm speaking from experience. I believe you on that. Jim says, yes, you are right. Yeah. All the major networks create fear-based stuff. Most of them. Are they? Yes, they do communicate telepathically. Most of the space people, the star people, they use telepathy. In my consciousness, when I contact my space contact, It's telepathic. I don't channel anything. Everything is telepathic. Always best to keep an open mind. Yes, nighttime. They're here to help Earth, but we also have to help our own planet. Okay, Beth Harris. Star family means that these are spiritual beings, men and women, that come from other planets. And when we say star family, it means that we are connected to them. That even though we live here, we're all connected. There's no separation. We're all connected to each other. Does that make sense to you? That's what star family is, simply put. I wonder if the space people will have to take over the world governments. There won't be any takeovers of any governments. There's going to be a gradual shift in consciousness where there will not be the kind of governments that we have now. We're going to be brought into a galactic family of light. We're going to be part of the planetary spiritual planets of peace. That's what the Earth is going to be part of. We're going to be elevated into a galactic family. No, you're not being vaporized, Teresa. Nobody is. Let's see here. Lisa says, so now I understand why the thought of eating meat or smelling is nauseating to me. Very good. It's bounded right back at them. It's bounced right back at them. Ginger Girl says, how were you contacted, in dreams or in person? In person. In the 60s, I was contacted going upstairs into my brother's room, and there was a spaceship, a flying saucer actually, hovering in the cul-de-sac in Long Island where I lived as a kid. And there were men, women, and children in light blue space outfits looking at me, and they telepathically communicated with me and said, I love you, and you're part of our galactic family. That's when I knew I wasn't from here. That's when I was a kid. Maybe they want Pepsi. Just kidding. We need to eat more fruits, yes. I like vegetables and fruits. Is Dr. Greer authentic? He is. And I'm not sure if Dr. Greer's aware of this whole thing. He might privately understand that some major events are happening soon. I wouldn't put it past him to not understand that. If he doesn't, he's going to be in for a surprise. When you say they leave marks in us, the ones that leave marks in you, I can't speak for those particular space people or beings, but I know the ones that are of the very foundation of light would never do that. I can't speak for specifics as to whose leaves marks on your skin. Those would be probably the third dimensional ones. What do I think of Bashar? I think Bashar is authentic. I think Darlanka is authentic. He's been communicating with Bashar for many, many years. He hasn't wavered in his contact. I think the information is accurate. But I knew things before I heard it from Bashar because I communicated off planet with Kadar Manka of the Sagittarian Council telepathically. So there are many confirmations. Yes, we have to help ourselves. They can show us the way, but we have to walk through it. Yes, that's true. Yes, we all have to help fix the planet. Chris, absolutely correct. Do you believe in the Anunnaki? I don't believe in the Anunnaki. I believe the Anunnaki exist, as do other star beings from other planetary systems. They all work together. There's not one better than the other. When it comes to the star people, they all collectively work together. We will acquire new powers. Interesting question. I don't know that we will acquire new powers. We'll be activated into our galactic form of who we are, meaning that we will have the ability to do things that we cannot do. There'll be positive things that will be activated in every human being at some point. We'll have the ability to do things as our star family does that we don't do right now. But we will have those abilities. I don't know exactly what they are yet, but we will have those abilities. Dr. DJK, I'm sorry. Are these beings able to manifest things instantly just using thought? Yes. A matter of fact, when we are able to be at that level of consciousness, we can manifest food just by thought. We can manifest clothing just by thought. All by thought. But that's when we become fully activated. So yes, that will be also an ability that we'll have. I was vegan but struggle with my iron levels. Will they help us with our sickness? They will. They will help us. They will help us understand how not to get sick. Once we get to that level, we will understand how not to be sick anymore. If we get sick, disease, all that will be gone. So, a very good question. Do they look like us? Yes, they do. I think it's 10 Gazulu. Absolutely. Many of them look just like us. As a matter of fact, 95% of those from other planetary worlds, spiritual worlds of light, look like us. Some of them are taller than we are, but they look just like us. I'm answering as directly as I can all your questions. How did your parents handle it when you said you're our star family? My physical parents, they're not here anymore. They understood it. We used to bring friends over the house when I lived at home, and they were my friends that also understood about the space beings. They were very intrigued. They also had no problem with it. User 674 says, and if you connect with pure evil, it enters you. The Anunnaki have the face of Adler, a snake. I don't know where that comes from. Throw that stuff all out the window, 674. The space beings, the Anunnaki, the space people, not the Earth-based distortions of space people, is the Anunnaki, just like other star people, are here to assist the planet. So I don't read any internet stuff or stories or anything like that, because a lot of that stuff is purely lies and pure disinformation. Hello, beautiful people. Hey, Flo. Once bitten, then you have to believe in them if you admit they exist. Well, you don't have to believe in them. You have to understand that they do exist. Whether you believe in them or not makes no difference. But if you understand that they exist, being the space people, you would understand that this planet is not alone. If you only believe that we exist and they don't exist, then you're living in a very lonely planet. I'm not saying you personally. But if you understand they exist, it shatters everyone's belief systems that we're the center of the universe. You see, a lot of people on this planet, billions of them, think that this planet, that we are the center of intelligence, we're the center of spirituality, we're the center of this, that, and everything else. Breaking news, you're not. Hate to shatter people's belief systems. You're not the center of the universe. You're not. You never will be. You're part of a whole galactic universe of many, many civilizations, way beyond your understanding, way beyond. Once you get rid of the ego about we are the center of the universe, I'm not saying anybody here is saying that, but we are not the center of the universe. Teresa says, will some illnesses be cured? Yes, I believe so. Possum Zombie says, I was told I am a fleet commander at the beginning of the Battle of Cirrus. Whoever told you that, I don't know who told you that. Again, if it's coming from somebody channeling or something, throw it out the window. Go within, meditate, and find out where you're connected. Definitely. I mean, maybe there's a truth to it, but you have to find out within yourself whether that's true or not. Because I have a feeling that came from somewhere else, somebody else telling you that. Reza, we don't really get into that because things have shifted. There was a lot of disinformation with that, and we don't talk about that particular thing. I've reconnected with Star Family from space, and that was definitely some diversions from the truth. Is the RH level the only way to connect to beings? No, you don't have to be RH level. You can be any level you want. It has not to do with your blood level nighttime. It has to do with your connection centering, being spiritually in tune. Nothing to do with the blood. It has to do with your ability to focus and meditate and center, as I said earlier in the program. That is the important thing to do. Our intelligence increase, our spiritual beingness, our cosmic understanding will increase tenfold. Our intelligence will increase in a different way. We won't be so much into our brain as we will be into our spiritual level. We'll be switching from brain to spirit. When we switch to spirit, will be operating in a pure frequency of love. We're operating pure frequency of love. Therefore, we're able to understand everything that our space brothers and sisters share with us. Med beds, yes. Wayno, yes. The med beds you mean for healing? Yes. I will manifest. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the roses. Teresa says, you'll manifest my husband cleaning the pool. And he probably will. We'll also be aging differently, yes. I'm going to bring... Okay, I'm going to bring Friends with Fairy on here. Oh, I don't see... where's Grace? Is she here? People come and go. I don't know if Grace is still here or not, but there will be... I'm just trying to catch up with old names. Will we be aging differently? Yes. The aging process will be way different when we get into contact, because the planetary system will be shifting, not just for Earth, but the whole solar system. Everything's going to shift everywhere in the universe. We just happen to be living here to experience it, and an exciting time to be here, right? I'm trying to catch up with all these different questions. Hey, Late Freight, good to see you. I'm trying to catch up. So meditating raises your vibrations. Yes. Everybody should be meditating now, learning how to do it, centering, clearing your mind out of all the crazy stuff that you hear. Take the time, center. This way you'll be prepared for contact. That's the first way to do it. I'll be 25 in 2027. I saw a Merkaba in the sky an hour ago. Hey, hurry up tree, that's great. So a lot of things are coming our way. I think people just need to understand the beauty of life and the beauty of what we're going through in this time period. Can you meditate while doing things like just being present? Yes, you can do it. But also, when you're not doing anything physically, find a time to just sit down quietly somewhere and spend a half hour and meditate. Alicia says she found an Ashtar Command guided meditation on YouTube. It was fun. Oh, good. Dark Shadow. Hello, Commander. Hey, Dark Shadow. Maddie, good to see you. And we are taking your questions about what's going to be happening in the next few years regarding direct contact. And I'm as good as anybody to give you answers, because I'm going to give you the real stuff. Beyond what Daralanka and Bashar are telling you, I'm very aware of a lot of things. Plus, I got my apple cider. I have been listening to your Christ frequency music meditation. Very good, Jennifer. I hope it's really helping. I'm pretty sure it is. Commander, I'm confused. Please explain dinosaurs. What do you want to know about dinosaurs? That's not my focus, but I'll try to answer about that. Yes, Lisa, that would be true. When the galactic forces come here to make contact, they will definitely be securing world peace. Snoopy says, when will direct contact happen? Between 2024 up and through 2027. By 2027, there'll have been direct contact. Ever hear of rectangular objects close to the ground? From time to time, FN nobody. I've actually heard that once in a while. How do we comply? The only thing you're not having to comply with anything. Yeah, Mama, good question. All you have to do is just center yourself, meditate in a Christ consciousness meditation, and get yourself ready for contact. So what you're doing is preparing yourself to be ready for an exciting period of time on Earth, where you will finally meet your star family. Brandy Grandy 607, how can I meet my star family? I need their help. You can do that by meditating, learning how to meditate, center. Easier said than done. But if you take the time, Brandy, to do that, and you go into a Christed meditation and say that I wish to have the Christed beings of light help me and assist me in my star family, always use the Christ. and you'll eventually have that contact. But you need to center your energy, clear your mind of everything you believe in and think. That's the most clearest thing you need to do before you can actually physically manifest that contact on a telepathic level and then on a physical level. Are we living in a parallel universe? Well, there are parallel universes. I don't think we are in a parallel universe, but we are living in a universe. There are parallel realities, parallel universes, different dimensional existence, everything. Oh, Brandy, you're very welcome. My consciousness is working really quick, so I'm trying to catch all the questions. No holographics, all real. This will be real, no holographic imaging. We're talking about real physical contact. I appreciate the question. I think it's Retake 67. Cheryl, do they make contact even if you live in the city? It makes no difference where you live. When the full contact happens, whether you're in a city, in a country, in a field, on a beach, you're going to see the ships. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. It's not selected. It's not a selective thing for a city, a country area. It's the whole planet. That's the beauty of it. Good question. Doran John, thank you for the heart. Anything about stars or space? Lilac 911. What can you rephrase what you mean by anything about stars or space? Hey, Miss Daniels, good evening. Jennifer, thank you for the likes. This is Encounters, and tonight, answering questions about the upcoming contact for the planet in the next few years, which I decided to do tonight. I think it's important for people to know the truth. Knowledge World, welcome. Thank you for the J. And we're taking your questions. Don't feel shy about it. If you don't know a specific thing about what I'm talking about, ask and I'll give you the answer. They train some of us to pilot crafts, yes. Some of you that come and remember that you came from the stars were once people that were on those spaceships. Oh, do they train us to pilot some of the crafts? You'll be able to. Once you connect with them, you'll learn how to pilot a spaceship. Way different than Earth-based technology. I do understand the question. I've been in a ship and I was the pilot. Oh, okay. Very good. That you remember that. Deborah says, who are the men in black? The men in black work with our government. They have worked with our government for over 70 years. They were there to try to put fear into people about their contacts or seeing things, but they have very little They have very little significance in anything that's happening now. That was back over 30 years ago. You won't see much about them anymore. They will have nothing to do with what's going to be happening now, nor will they be able to stop any of it. But they were working with sectors of the world governments that were dealing with trying to hush people up years ago. Will they contact all of us? Yes, Ginger Girl. The contact is not for a select few. It's for the whole planet. Stipple.source, I've always wondered why I'm hauntingly intuitive. If you have intuitive senses, it's because you are activated in ways, and you'll be totally activated. You're an intuitive person. You also have that thing where you come from the stars. So there are things that are within you that will be activated. Will they help us change our economic system? Simmering blue water. So where they come from, there is no economic system. The people from these other planets don't have an economic system. That's all part of the control mechanism on Earth, is that they created these economic systems to control people. There's not going to be an economic system anymore. When contact happens, gradually there'll be no economic systems. Everyone's going to be free. You're going to learn how to live in a galactic civilization without any kind of fear, any money, any materialism. Everything's going to be different. But that probably will take a little bit of time because of the initial contact. I don't think it's going to be like right away. Don't look at what your abilities are as a curse. Look at them as something that can help other people. that you can help yourself. Look at it in a positive way. Always think in a Christed-like stipple dot source of thinking that you're a Christed being of light. And as an intuitive, you can help people and then you can help yourself in a very positive way in your abilities. So look at it in a very beautiful way. It really isn't a curse. It's all how you perceive it. All how you perceive it. And we're taking your questions tonight on encounters regarding contact in the next few years between 2024 and 2027. I'm finally discussing this tonight because it needs to be discussed. I'm tired of all the misinformation out there on the internet, and I want you to get your questions out, and I'm going to give you some honest answers here. Miss Daniels, I guess I'm ghosted. Jean Harper says, why do they want to have contact with us? Because we are connected with them, Jean. We are part of them. We are all connected. This planet is so disconnected. We have countries on this planet. Everybody's separated from everything and everyone. The way this planet was divvied up by states and countries, it's all separated. We have separated countries, separated people. Everyone's so separated. The star people we're connected with, okay? The star people are our family, our cosmic family. You have a biological family that when you're born with your cousins, your relatives on Earth. You have a star family that is coming back so you can reconnect and remember where you're from. You're from Earth, but you're not from Earth, you see, Gene Harper? We're all connected. We're all interconnected. And once we realize that interconnection, nothing can stop anything from happening at that point, because now we're going to learn so much more about the universe. The beauty of the contact is that you'll now be able to learn things about other planets, go to other planets, see other places. Gradually, you'll be able to go to the stars and visit these star planets that our star families come from. There's a lot of things that are going to transpire in the next few years, but it's only the beginning. It's not the ending, it's the beginning. We need 100K likes. Yes, we do. Ginger Girl says, I have been told I am an empath. Can I be picking up on their feelings? Yes. If you pick up on people's feelings, then you have the beauty of having the ability to be an empath. So yes, if you already know that, you already know you're an empath. So evolution is man-made. Yes, exactly, Jim. The whole thing, these people that debate on the internet and then on YouTube, people on here debate evolution. I don't understand it, because everything comes from the stars. Every planet, every universe, every galaxy, every beingness. You know, all the lies in this earth about how we got here, how we became who we are, all the lies, when in fact, we all came from the stars. And we are answering your questions. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. Don't feel afraid to ask me a question regarding what's going to happen. Ginger Girl, do they visit you without you seeing them? Yes. They can do that very peacefully, very quietly in what they call your dream state. So when you're dreaming, they can come to you in the dream state, which I call the cosmic state, and they can actually visit you. Absolutely correct. Loco ITT, I come from space-time continuum. Jane says, I believe in God and I believe in unification of everything and every being. I hope to see them soon. You will. Maddie, Ginger Girl, I'm also an empath. I'm working to not feel others' feelings, etc. Do we have same family? Eileen Ross, if you mean, do we have the same star family? We all come from star family, but the star families can all be different, depending what planetary system you come from. So just like you have cousins in different countries, you can have star family from other planetary systems that are different than where my star family comes from. King Jack, hello. Yeah, Mama, we can call them now. Yes, if you meditate and center, you can connect with your star family. This is the one thing most human beings don't understand. If you learn how to do it correctly, you connect with your star family. Can you comment on the evils in the universe? Well, there's not so much evils in the universe. There have been, in this particular universe within the third dimensional levels that we're going out of. In the third dimension, there were what we call negative ET levels and also some positive ones. But those were the ones that were trying to do all the things in the last 30, 40, 50 years to try to abduct people, do different things. And our government was involved with some of that here on Earth. So I would say more the negatives of the universe are very minimal versus the positives. But again, you're going out of a 3D belief system. Your planet operated in a 3D system, consciousness, time frame. Your system is now out of a 3D consciousness. You're not living in a 3D world anymore. Although it seems like you are, you're not. That's the illusion. Don't trap yourself into the belief system that you're living on a 3D world. You're not. The frequency on the planet, the vibrational patterns have increased tenfold. You can feel it. Those of you that are feeling different now that you felt like 5 years or 10 years ago, if you're feeling way different now, it's because the vibrational frequencies have gotten to such a high state. That is why we're also ready for contact. Our planet's not vibrating as it was 40 or 50 years ago. It's totally different. I don't really care about Miami, what happened there, because it had no relevance on the truth. It was a diversion from what's really true. I never got hyped into that whole thing that happened a month ago or whatever. I kept very focused on real stuff that was really happening that people need to know about. I think that was more of a diversion. Nina says, are we hosts for the being within, or are we an actual being? We are an actual being. Great question. Each of you are an actual being, not just a human being, but in a sense, once you wake up, you are a star being living on Earth. Let's see, what's the other questions here? King Jack, thank you. Everything and time are moving so fast. They are. And I'm just patiently looking at your questions. I appreciate the questions so much so tonight. This is a show really to talk about finally contact. What sparked me to do this was when I was working today, I just happened to find a new Bashar communications from the Essassani that confirmed internally what I understood. Again, another confirmation. You know how you get confirmations of things and they actually do happen? And I've been very aware of, when he talks about contact, I said, I felt that already. I've talked about it briefly here on the show, but people need to get ready for contact. We're not going to go in between things. We're not going to mince words here. We're not going to be wishy-washy here. I'm going to be very direct with my answers to your questions, and we're going to get into it. I had contact in high school, lost the whole day. You lost the whole day from high school. Well, that's good. You didn't have to go to class. Will the dead be brought back? I don't know about that, yo mama. That's out of my realm of understanding. I can't speak on that, to be honest with you. But that's a good question. I can't speak on that. Dancing Clouds, when do you think contact will happen? It's already happening. It's happening gradually. It'll increase to happen. More contact will happen as we go into this year, into 25, 26, and 27, when there'll be massive contact. My ex was at Area 51. Oh, he was? Interesting. No worries. Area 51 is almost immaterial. I used to think Area 51 was important, but now I don't care about Area 51. I'm more focused now on contact. I'm more focused on what's going to happen. I think that's more important. Hey, friends and furries. Let me see. Could I bring her up for a minute? You're going to, I know did she just go to sleep? I think she just went bye-bye. Well, hope you have a good night, friends and furries. We'll see you tomorrow night on the show. Are they living in Antarctica and in the oceans and in the mountains? Yes, there are what we call space beings living on Earth sporadically, and within the inner Earth, we do have space people, spiritual beings of light in the Agartha network, which is the subterranean cities of the Agartha network. If you study that, we have what we call hollow Earth. Inside the Earth, there are many, many spiritual beings that live there. And again, the galactics are coming from space. So you're going to see the ones from the inner Earth come out too. It's not just the people from space, but the inner Earth beings are going to be coming here and making contact with us too, coming out of the inner Earth. Agreed. Sandy says he agreed, but he alluded to seeing beings. Okay. User 132, I thought we were in the third dimension. Not anymore. We're out of the third dimension. We were, as I was going from the 60s, I would say back then we were in the third dimension. We're no longer in the third dimension. The third dimension's gone. You know, you'll know that if you go within and meditate, you'll know that things are switching, changing in your consciousness. Nothing is the same as it was 30, 40 years ago. The planet, with everything going on, if you just center on yourself and center within, you're not living in the third dimension anymore. The inner Earth is the inner Earth. There are entrances at the inner Earth, Sandy, in Antarctica and other parts of the world, Tibet, many parts, Mount Shasta. There are many, many places to go into the inner Earth. In the Middle East, where the pyramids are, the Sphinx exists. They're below the sands of the desert there are inner Earth entrances that they don't tell you about that have tubular transport systems that will take you into the inner Earth. Can you tell us how you meditate? Very, very good question. I think it's Michelle, I believe, right? Michelle? When I meditate, I use very beautiful Christed ambient music in my meditations. And sometimes I don't use any music. But I usually use that and I say, I wish to connect to my star family, the Christed beings of light. And I will go into a meditative state and just find a quiet place to do it. And that's how I connect in my meditations. You can use the word you or om, which are traditionally words to be used. When you meditate, start with the word you or the word om. And if you repeat those words, you get into a vibrational pattern for meditation. Once you do that, then you can connect with your star family and saying, I wish to connect with Christed beings of light within my star family. And that's the way you want to frame it in order to make that connection. Because it's really important to be, especially now, disciplined as we're getting towards contact. Every single human being wants to be prepared and ready for contact. That's why I'm doing this show tonight like I'm doing it, because it's really going to start picking up now this year. You're going to have sightings. Probably a lot of you will have sightings for the first time. You'll see things you've never seen before. You're going to wonder what it is. Document it. Make sure you video record it. Make sure you are aware of everything around you. Make sure you're totally aware. Don't keep focusing on walking down into a shopping mall. Take time to go out into a field. Take time to go onto a beach. Sit there for 2 hours, when it's not cold out, and meditate, and then look at the stars and look at space and see if you have contact. You will. Just as natural. Nothing has to be complicated. There are people that want to make it complicated. There's no complications. You just have to be centered and cleared. So I hope that answers your question about the meditation. Liz, hello. Good evening. Richard Dolson, hi, Command. Good to see you. Chris Litter, welcome. King Jack, I watched No One Will Save You. It's a good movie. Oh. Sandy Bergen says, why are they keeping everything so secretive, i.e. the government? Well, the government for 70 years has lied to the public since Roswell. And Roswell was before I was born. Hey, Sleek, so thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. And you know what? I've come to the point of not caring about what the government thinks or why they're doing what they're doing. Because then the truth is, Liz, thank you for the roses. What the government thinks and what they're doing has no consequence on what's going to happen. And Richard, thank you for the roses as well. They cannot stop this from happening. That's the funny part of it. These people, these generals and people for years in all these different countries cannot stop the human race from having this happen. They can't stop it. They tried to conceal it, lie about it for years, and now they're going to try to do everything they can to make it look like, oh yeah, we've been here all along, and here's a little bit of disclosure, here's some videos, and have fun. They can't stop it. They can't control the narrative. They have no control. The spine is in the North Africa, not the Middle East. I don't know what the spine is in North Africa, not the Middle East, Sean. Could you explain what that is? Because I have no idea. Oh, the Sphinx. There's a Sphinx in the Middle East, in Egypt. I'm talking about Egypt specifically. I'm not talking about North Africa. There might be something in North Africa or other places, but the one in that is over in the Middle East, that one below the sands there is an entrance into the inner earth there too. It might be in North Africa too. But have you ever been abducted? No. I work in a very high frequency. I've only had positive contact since I was a kid with space people that were in a cul-de-sac in a spaceship with a flying saucer type craft hovering above the cul-de-sac, and I was preteen, and they were telepathically communicating with me. They wore light blue spacesuits, and they were men, women, just like us, very beautiful. And no, I've never been abducted. I find myself sleeping all the time lately, so tired. Probably Honey McReynolds, because you're probably going out of body off planet. You're being taken out of body. You're traveling a lot off planet. So I think a lot of people I'm talking to are having that happen. No worries. I think you're being downloaded and might not remember everything, but Honey McReynolds, I think a lot of it has to do with the shift that's coming, that we're going through. Tampa has UFOs very recently. I do believe that, Alien Doll. Let's see here. Yeah, Alicia's right. Take 5 minutes to start. If you're starting to meditate, do it for 5 minutes. Take your time with it, build up into it, and you will find yourself doing it as easy as going on a swing. Good thing I have apple cider. Are they done with the building of the Ozark tunnel entrance? I have no idea what that is. I'm always on a galactic level, so I have no idea what the Ozarks tunnel entrance might be. Liz, I looked it up. The other people had the same vision of them. Confirmation. User 132, been seeing things for years from Florida to Nevada. Hey, why would they contact inferior beings? So that's a belief system. I think it's Raj Morton. So that's a belief system. When you say, why would they contact inferior beings? If someone thinks as a human being you're inferior, that's a belief system that you feel that way. If you feel inferior, then you are what you feel. But we're not inferior beings. We're beings that are part of a whole galactic universe. We're just waking up to the fact that what I'm trying to teach you is you're not inferior. You're part of a galactic family. So throw that whole word inferior out of your consciousness. Change it and say that I am just waking up to the fact that I am part of something greater than myself, and I am part of a galactic grouping of many, many planetary systems of people. Thank you for the roses. Finland. Well, it's the first time we've had somebody from Finland. Good morning, Finland. Good to have you with us. I think it's Met13. Hey, good to have you with us. The government tries to prevent mass hysteria. They might try to create a thing of not mass hysteria, but the government actually lies more than they do anything else. Mass hysteria, I think that's a cover-up for the government. We think that they're trying to prevent mass hysteria. They're not trying to do anything, but they're trying not to tell the truth. They always, the people say, well, they don't want to get us to be afraid. For every year, for years since as a kid growing up on the subject, it's always, they don't want to create mass hysteria. What they don't want to do is tell you the truth. Will the government try to start a war with the star people? No. The reason why, mama, because the star people will shut down every single weapon on this planet. They won't be able to do anything. If they put Air Force jets in the air with missiles, all those missiles will be neutralized. Every single weapon will be neutralized on this planet. So I want to say this right now to the people of Earth. And I'm not channeling this information. I'm telling you direct information. And this goes for anyone listening in any government agency right now to the show. Your weapons will be dismantled, neutralized, and you will not be able to use them against the star people who come here in peace. your whole weapon system will be neutralized. I don't care if you're in Russia, China, whatever country you're in, and you're hearing this, your weapons will be neutralized. I'm not channeling this information, folks. I'm speaking it direct. Good question. Oh, you met Nick Pope in 1993. I've never met him. They're going to be coming to Connecticut to do Ancient Aliens. I'm trying to get media passes to go there. I have many questions for those folks. KG Hayes says, I've experienced telepathy with Skycraft too. You probably have had telepathy with the people on the Skycraft or the spaceship. So you're not connecting telepathically with a spaceship, probably the beings inside the ship, KT Hayes. Interesting. I didn't get to come on, but I will be tomorrow night. Okay, Tiffany. Realm, thank you for the follow. Ozark entrance guarded by blue beings. Oh, interesting. I don't know about that. I'm just reading people's questions here. Well, I have to catch up here. ETs are interdimensional. No, they aren't. Ben, incorrect. You're getting your information from the internet. I can tell that, brother. All your belief systems are based on what you've been indoctrinated to. First of all, there are no aliens, but there are extraterrestrial, non-terrestrial beings. And interdimensional beings are not demons. So I want to bust your belief system. I love it when people do that. I can bust Ben's belief system. You've been taught to believe that either on the internet or through your religious beliefs or whatever. Throw it out the window, man, because you come here, I'm gonna shake you up, rattle you up, and turn you around. By the time you're off the show, you're not gonna know what to think anymore. It'll all be good. I feel like I'm crawling out of my skin ever since they put up the 5G towers. Some people with the 5G towers are definitely affected by it. Me personally, I'm not. I stay well protected. Understand, folks, when you come in here with the whole thing with the demon stuff, you don't know what you're getting into with the commander, because I will shake your belief systems right out the window. Usually, yes, they run and craft families, but they also shoot down nuclear weapons. So, Project 90 Seconds to Midnight, thank you for your comment. What they do is they don't shoot the nuclear weapons down, they dismantle them, they deneutralize the nuclear weapons, have done so since the 1960s. Since our spirit never dies, can the star people communicate with them? Good question, Carol. I don't know that that's what happens. We are basically, when we leave our physical body on this earth, we go into another light body. So basically, if you're fully aware of who you are, when you leave this physical shell, you go into your higher level of your next human life as a space being. They come to erase humans. No, they don't come to erase humans. Ben, wherever you're getting that belief system, it's a lie. So I'm going to talk to Ben for a minute. And I want Ben to be here because if I kick him out, he's not going to learn anything. Whatever you believe, Ben, you learned from websites and other people indoctrinating you to a specific belief system, Ben. It's all lies. It's complete lies, Ben. So I'm going to shake your system up there. So I welcome you to keep being here because I'm going to shake you up. And you're going to either stay here and be able to handle it, or you're going to be like not knowing what to do anymore. So welcome to the show. They want us to be destroyed. You know, that's all a programmed belief system, Ben. You've been indoctrinated by somebody or something to believe that. I don't believe when you were a little kid you believed that. You were indoctrinated to believe that. You were. Hi, are our souls actually star beings? In a sense, yes. We are, within our souls, light beings. And our souls were able to be truly connected with the stars. In the human consciousness, the brain, we don't think about that because our brain questions everything. And our brain can be indoctrinated to belief systems which just aren't true. And much on the stuff on Earth is based on indoctrination. Religion on this planet, totally based on indoctrination. Many websites indoctrinating people in fear-based garbage that has nothing to do with truth. I have heard of him. I don't really talk about him. It doesn't really connect to what we're doing with. Sandy Bergen, friends with Dr. Greer. I interviewed Dr. Stephen Greer in 1992-93 in New Hampshire on a TV show I was doing. Yes, I haven't talked to him since then, but I know of him in the early days. It's been peaceful. How are you feeling? Feeling good, E. Project 90 Seconds. A misstep in genetics. They didn't want to destroy us, but the end result is the same. No, nobody made us. God made everybody. God made all the star beings. God made us. So when people, all these websites and all these different people on YouTube saying, well, we were made by the other ETs. No, the extraterrestrials were created by God. Believe it or not, breaking news, the ETs were created by God. Now, on their own planetary worlds, did some of these extraterrestrial civilizations genetically create more? Maybe. But in truth, every planetary system, every universe, every galaxy was created by God. The creator, God, has nothing to do with religion. God is universal, not in a little box for some religion, And so therefore, all of us were created by God. We weren't created by other beings. We were created by God. Just like on Mars or on any other planet, any beings that exist in any universal world, any galaxy, solar system, all created by God. Okay? All our entities originated from heaven. All the entities, including you, Ben, what you call heaven is the stars. Heaven is basically translated into the universe. There are heavens in every single galaxy, every single solar system. Everything is heaven. So it really is basically, if you turn the word heaven into beyond Earth, the stars, the solar systems, the galaxies, that's your heavens. Okay, Ben? That's your heavens. And all the entities, what you call entities, all the life forms came from God. Water is important. Yes, water is always important. I keep myself grounded and 5G doesn't bother me. Good. Let's see here. Sandy, also in the dream, I was in a spacecraft and it was glowing pink and we traveled like stair steps. Stair steps, I think you said. KG Hayes, the craft I see were around the size of a large beach ball, only metallic, and can move incredibly. Yeah, those, if they're like a beach ball size, those are probably unmanned craft from a larger mothership that are monitoring things around the planet. Yeah, Chris, are space beings, are angels, do they come to see you? So there are angelic realm, which is connected with the galactic forces. There are angelic planetary worlds, people. There are planets that the angels come from. Believe it or not, they do come from planets. Breaking news. So the angels are here to assist us. They're part of the star family. So yes, they do come to see you. I learned from Jesus Christ, not humans. So Ben, breaking news. A lot of us here believe in Jesus Christ, but you come from a religious perspective. If you really understand Jesus Christ came from the stars. Jesus Christ was a star being. Jesus Christ came here and traveled to India, what is now North America. He traveled all over the planet. And a matter of fact, Jesus is actually a star being, Ben. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson here. Whatever you were taught about Jesus Christ by some warped preacher on earth, Jesus Christ is a star being. So I'm going to bust your matrix belief system. And Jesus would never use the terms you're using. Jesus would say that, I love everybody on the planet. Are you loving everybody on the planet? And if you were like Jesus, you would not be calling people from outer space demons, because Jesus never talked that way. The cosmic teachings of Jesus is that he's a star being. See? That's why you're here. You're here for a reason, to learn from the commander a little bit of things that you don't know. I'm trying to bust your belief systems because it's all coming from basically a religious limitation. I see a fleet of 16 very low UFOs back in the 70s were rounded a curve on a state highway. Beautiful. Very beautiful. I'm going to have to, you only have 14 followers. Now you have 15. Interesting. Let's see here. It's a fear tactic. Yes. Red Trick 67. It's a fear tactic. Religion always uses fear tactics on young people. And the preachers usually, those preachers that think that ETs are negative and out to eat us, those preachers know nothing. Those preachers I should go into a church with one of those preachers, get on the pulpit and start talking about the truth. And all these people would be like talking about Jesus, and they'd be probably running to chase me out of the church. And I would stand there and say, just try it. Yes, we are light beings. You can see for yourself by astral traveling. Yes, you can. People forget humans are emotional. They are. They're very emotional. Spirit, exactly. Ben says the government wants us to believe they're friendly. No, the government doesn't want us to believe they're friendly. The government has been hiding the truth, Ben, for 70 years. The government, what are you talking about? Because once Jesus and the church leaves, they come. No, Jesus does not live in a church. Jesus doesn't live in a temple. Jesus doesn't live in a mosque. Jesus doesn't live in a tent. Jesus is cosmic. Jesus is universal. You got to get out of your church because whatever they're teaching you is complete lies. You've been lied to. I'm glad he's here. I'm trying to help the kid, you know. No, they're not trying to take over anything. Let me go back to his saying. They come to take over. No, no one's coming to take over anything, Ben. Your religion has indoctrinated you to a belief system that's totally not true. I'm here to help you. I believe that God made everything. That's right. Blessed Pisces, you're absolutely correct. They all have souls as well. They do all the. Are you saying do all the beings have souls? Good question. I would say that the ones that are the star family, the star beings, they all have souls. Now, do the lower vibrational beings have souls? Maybe. I really haven't focused on that enough to tell you. Maybe. Who is God? Okay, so I'll answer that. Jim, great question. So I'm going to give you an answer. There's so much garbage about God on TikTok. It's unbelievable. I think people do it just to get ratings. And they get 2,000 people watching them. So they create all these ridiculous things. So God does exist. God is the creator. God is the source. God is the creator of all the multiverse. Every single thing that exists, all life forms. That's God. God is not in a church, not in a temple, not on a dollar bill. God is real. The God I talk about is something other than what's taught about on Earth 3D world, which is God is a universal understanding. God has no beginning. God has no end. What does that mean? God is everywhere. That's why there's no beginning and no end. God is everywhere. On Earth, people are indoctrinated by religions on this planet to a degree that is disgusting, to the point where they don't know what the truth is anymore because they believe they're preachers or they're rabbis or they're whatever. People need to get out of the 3D religions and start focusing, centering on cosmic consciousness. That's what people need to do. Good question, Jim. Let's see here. Could we have been a soul in an ET? Absolutely. 714 wildfire. Great question. You actually are an ET in a human body. You're a light being in a human body. You're having a human experience. But what you're going to do now is remember who you are. And that's why we talk about star people. So if you're a human, you are a star person. You're going to have a relationship to remembering who you are. And once you meditate and focus on that inner higher self guidance, you'll remember. It'll take time to do all these things I'm saying. I'm trying to give you some simple answers, but really the work is that you need to meditate, focus on saying that I want to reconnect with my star family. That's what we're going to. That's what this whole thing about contact is between 2024 to 2027, when there'll be a heightened awareness of what that is. Chris, thank you for that gift. Are heavenly envoys friendly? Yes. Or do they teach hard lessons? I know that's a great question. I don't think they're going to teach hard lessons. I think they're here to help us in a very loving way. When the contact does happen, it'll be in a way that we're all respected, we're all considered, and nurtured in a way that's going to be good for both of us, both for them and for us, because we're all connected. And again, no simulations. Roy Steele, there won't be any simulations. I understand what you're saying. Heaven is a higher dimension. Yes. Well, heaven is essentially, heaven is the stars. There are higher dimensions, but heaven is essentially, if you decode the word heaven, it means that there are many dimensions of light. It's like going to high school. You go from grade 1 all the way to grade 12, college, university. There's never an ending to dimensions. There's no ending to frequency. That's the one thing, Ben, you're right about. Heaven is higher dimensions. It's not one dimension, it's many dimensions. When can we meet God? Well, you meet him every day. God is not a he or she. God is everywhere. When you go into hiking in a trail, you see a flower. When you go to the beach and see the waves. When you go meditating or something, going, walking the walk in a trail or something, or getting away to some place that you've never been to before. All the things around us, all the animals, every life form is all meeting God because God created everything in every universe. You see, my teachings are way more expansive than that on earth. On earth, everything is limited. You're taught everything to be limited. God has to be he or she. God is not a he or she. God is just God. God is love. God is light. God is universal, right? If you understand that, that's what your space people are going to be bringing to earth. They're going to teach you that God is universal. They're going to teach you something you've never believed in, or maybe some of you do, but they're going to shatter every religion on this planet. It's going to fall apart because all the religions are based on lies. Most every religion, I don't care if you're Middle Eastern, Western civilization, it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. All religions are based on lies. It's indoctrinating people to a belief system that separated everybody from everybody else. Therefore, you never live together. So you meet God, Andrew, when you meditate in inner reflection, you'll meet God. K.D. Hayes, the ETs I telepathically encountered laughed at me when I mentioned Jesus. I don't know why. Well, maybe they weren't connected. I don't know what kind of ETs you met, but if they weren't from the spiritual levels of light, they might laugh. I'm not sure why that would happen. Cuckoo Bra says, I think souls are all part of consciousness and all connected. And yes, you are correct about that. Do you think a sorcerer got Mary pregnant or God? Sources don't get anybody pregnant. Sources are spaceships. Sources don't impregnate anybody. God created life forms that can create life. So a spaceship doesn't create anything other than be a physical vehicle that transports space people to different places. Now, how Mary got pregnant, that's out of my realm, but because I don't really focus on that. But however it was done through however it was done. I really can't answer that question. Everything is made of the same one substance. ESF. Sputnik, thank you for the share. Let's see here. We're going to be signing out here in 10 minutes. I can't believe I'm here till 1:30. I want everybody to please show your support for my program. If you want to do my Venmo account on my main page, please do. Your support means a lot to me to get this out. I do this show normally at 11 o'clock at night. I started late tonight. This is Encounters. This is a regular show here on TikTok. I also do a show on WESU Radio, NPR Radio, called Ashtar Command Radio. I've been doing that for 21 years. I'm a contactee for new people here. I'm a co-creator of our C5 group, New Laura Lee, Thank You for the Roses. We're very much involved for over 11 years in visual contact with positive spaceships here in the United States. I'm a conduit. I do workshops here in the U.S. Helping people get ready for contact. And tonight, I spent most of the night here very much seriously having to do this show because too many lies are going on out there. Too much stuff on the media, on social media is not true. People are getting misinformation. And I wanted to just bring some truth to the subject on my show tonight about contact. Yes, being within all of us. Absolutely correct, Honey McReynolds. Let's see here. Pete says, melanated people were created by the creator. Everything else came from melanated people. I don't know what melanated people are, but I can tell you that God created everything in the multiverse. Yeah, Jesus wasn't religious at all. Jesus came here as a star being. But religions tried to corner him in their religions, and he wasn't religious at all. He was very much teaching people how to be liberated and to remember who they are. Jesus being a star being makes sense to me. Good. User 155. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up with all the questions. I'm ready. I wish. 1 in 400 trillion chances we are born. Wonder who the strangers in our dreams are? You'll have to ask yourself that question, Cuckoo. I would say meditate on that. Ask yourself, who are you, strangers? And you'll get the answer. Because if that question is coming up in your own consciousness, go within. And I'd love to see what the answer is when you go within and meditate. We're all brothers and sisters to the Creator's eyes. Yes, see, that is true. And everybody, please follow each other. Follow me. Definitely follow me. We're hoping by summer to have 100,000 followers so we can expand our program all over the world here. We appreciate all the people that are spending your night here with us. If Jesus were crucified, did his star family bring him back? So this is a great question. I want to answer that question. I am so disgusted with this whole religious thing about Jesus in Hollywood movies having a fawn around his head, being put in a tomb for 3 days, and then in the religious terminologies, the tomb opens up, and then Jesus walks out miraculously, walking in the fields, and the people in the farmlands and the people in the countryside see Jesus walking around in a robe. And then they see this cloud, right? This cloud happens, right? And what happens in the cloud? According to the biblical story, he goes up into the cloud, right? So I decoded that religious text about him going into the cloud. Jesus never died. Jesus was a star being. He regenerated his body. No one ever killed him. It's all misinformation, distorted information by earth-based religions. When Jesus was in the field and in the Bible where it talks about him going into the clouds, what do you think happened? He was beamed up into a big spaceship. The cloud was an electromagnetic disturbance created to look like a cloud around the sky, and he went into the ship. Now, religious people would say, how could you say that? Because I can. Because I decoded it. Because my consciousness works that way. So he never died. He went back onto a spaceship. He left the earth, but he can come and go as he pleases. So when people say, oh, I see Jesus, that's because he can come. He's a multidimensional being of light. He can come and go as he wishes. Religions distorted who he was. This is basically what happened. Good question, Ginger Girl. Let's see. We are indoctrinated. Yes. People on this earth are always indoctrinated. That's the funny part of it. We've all been indoctrinated growing up. But many of you have stopped being indoctrinated because you're here. You're watching Encounters. So I know you're not indoctrinated anymore. Once you watch this show, if you were indoctrinated, by the time you go to sleep tonight, you're going to be completely non-indoctrinated. A Brand, I understand and believe in your words, but you got to change your haircut. I have to change my haircut. Thank you. Well, we do get a haircut once in a while, but I appreciate that. I'll have to have my studio makeup artist do some work on me here. I'm just kidding. They would have a long time ago if they wanted to. Jesus only came to the lost sheep of Israel. Everyone isn't Israel. No, Jesus came and he traveled all over the world. That's misinformation. Thank you for the duck. Oh, the swan. No, thank you. Jesus came to earth as a star being. The lost teachings of Jesus. He went to India. He went to what is now called North America. He met all the indigenous tribes. He is not just one person's place. That's all indoctrination. That's not true. He went all over the world. But you don't hear about that because it's been indoctrinated, and many of the things about Jesus were cut out of our history. See, I'm here to bust the matrix and tell you, no, it's not about Israel. It's about the whole planet. Do they interact with God? Well, everyone interacts with God in meditation. When you say they, we all can interact with God universally, no matter what planet we're from. We can meditate and meditate in peace with God, but it has nothing to do with they or us. It has to do with all of us, all of the planetary systems, all the life forms. Yes, oneness, Christ consciousness. Absolutely right, Joey. Now they do the ones who were adopted by Father do. He is the one who loved us first truly. Let's see here. Hey, Arizona. Hey, Dino. Good to have you with us out there in Arizona. God is light. That's right. How old are you? Do you Mars people age like Earthlings? Tiffany, I don't get into aging processes. I don't believe in aging, so I don't talk about that. But I can tell you that many of the star people that are coming to this planet when we have contact are probably, some of them are hundreds, if not thousands of years old, and probably look like 20 or 30 years old. That I can tell you. Dino, internal, and let's see. Yes, we are light. Truth, I am you. Facts, yes, you are. Blessed Pisces, exactly. I'm just reading all the questions here. The people are the church. So in a sense, there is no church. The people, once they waken up to a universal understanding that we're all together. We're all part of a much greater purpose. Religion is a box used to suppress our free will. That's absolutely right. Missing S's, you got it right on. Religion is a box used to suppress our free will. And those that are in religion are living in a box. And that box must be busted, and it will be. Ways to avoid my questions. Alexi, so many questions. What's your question? I'm trying to catch up with all the questions. If I miss any questions, don't take it personally. I am trying to catch up here. We forgot we all come from different colors, shapes, perceptions. We're all one. That's right, E. E's right on the money. Light Bear, every year they say something's going to happen. Yeah, that's mostly the channels that do that. On Facebook, on YouTube, every year for the last, as long as the internet's been around. But now things have changed. There's going to be contact. There is already people starting to have contact. I've interviewed them on my show here, Encounters. Usually do interviews. I've had people have encounters in their house with light beings. I have people, I have my friend in Vermont. She's been on a spaceship the last couple of nights. They were taken aboard an actual spaceship by star people. This is a true story. She's documenting it. There is contact individually happening, and there'll be mass contact happening between now and 2027. Now, whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But I do understand, Lightbearer, that has been over the years, mostly from channels that will go on Facebook and say, we love you, we'll be here in 2022, and we'll be here in 2016. It's very different now. You'll see. Escape the matrix, look inside. Heaven is a choice, yes. And also break the matrix. Don't escape it, break it. No, I don't channel frog anything. Everything I get is direct. I'm a telepathic communicator. I've been a telepathic being since before the internet ever existed. I've been doing my mission work. I worked with the Ashtar Command before there was any websites. So I don't channel anything. I'm a telepathic communicator with one space being. Also very fully activated. I have a lot of information. I don't use any websites to get it. I have all the information downloaded. So when I answer questions, I have the information. I'm fully activated to answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll be honest and say I don't know the answer. I don't channel anything. Good question. I just learned about his last night or another channel. Check it out. Astro. Big Jeff, heaven and hell are a state of mind. Yes. Let's see here. Man, when you breathe, you experience God. Yes, you do. You do. We are the light and darkness. We create our own perceptions of life. You're the creator of your own reality. That's absolutely true. Are maggots God? No, maggots are not God. Why would you ask that question? That's kind of an interesting question. You know, why would you ask that kind of question? That's my question. We all have God in us, yes. Put it this way, God created everything in the universe. Superfly says the universe is alive. It sure is. God lives in our heart. Yes, that's true. Space people, yes. Let's see. Astro, we are God. Because we're all extensions of God. Yes, we are God created. So in a sense, we are part of God. Just like the flowers, the trees, the water, the fish, everything is a part of God on every planetary system. I don't read Bible. I believe in 3D Matrix. Don't believe in 3D Matrix. Break the 3D Matrix, jerk a lot. Get rid of the 3D Matrix. That's what you want to bust out of, is the 3D Matrix. Throw the 3D Matrix out the window. Change instantly. Let's see. Astro, in the most holy way, no egos. Yes. Open your mind to all possibilities. Superfly. Let's see here. I'm going to take a few more questions, and then it's time for me to depart the show for tonight. Tomorrow night we'll be on at 11. We'll get more into interviews. Heal from all negative emotions, your past, your mistakes, your own thoughts. Don't self-sabotage yourself. Let's see here. When I was a child and younger adults, I never felt comfortable in any church. Now I know why. Good, Carol. And we're glad to have you with us here on the show. Just to let people know, our show is on most nights at 11. I started late tonight. I'm usually on nightly at 11 o'clock with Encounters, the number one UFO spiritual talk show on social media. You mentioned you can say about people, say respectfully, can you say something to me, please? Kay, what is the question about you? When you say I can say about people, can you rephrase the question? Let's see here. Nothing immaculate about it. Let's see. Some ET contacted me and they laughed after asking if it was Jesus, God, all telepathically. Well, God isn't a king. That's the misperception. God is not a king or a queen or a he or a she. God is just God. Throw out that other stuff. God is just God. God is light, love. God is universal. So if you look at God in that perception of reality, that's God. God has no title. God has no title whatsoever to the space people. I'm back. Hey, Liz, welcome back. You seem intuitive strongly. If that's for me, 714 Wildlife, thank you. Did Okay. Did God create technology? No, God didn't create technology. People that were on planets created technology that built things that, with their consciousness, which was created by God. So technology is created by people. And if you're saying that technology is created by God, in a sense, you can say because somebody has a consciousness to create things, God gave them the ability to create technology. So if you want to look at it in that confine, you would say yes, but God didn't necessarily create technology. God is not secret of the darkness, scared of darkness. The darkness is scared of the light. True. The work is to change mankind's heart to truth. Yes. Okay, I think we're going to call it a night here. Please show your support for our show. You can do, if you have TikTok coins, we have 352 people here. Please follow each other. I'm always about uplifting my viewership. I want everyone to get to know each other. Get first time here. Thanks for coming here. If it's the first time you see my show, Dark Shadow, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. I appreciate that very much and your questions. I appreciate everybody's questions. It's really important for me to talk about contact because it is going to be starting to happen. It's already happening individually. I know that from people I've interviewed on my show here, but it's going to happen more and more. So be prepared. Learn how to meditate. Get centered. Do the things you need to do. Really important. Thank you for that cheer you up thing, whatever that is. Thank you for the lightning bolts. Wow. I appreciate that so much. I still have some apple cider. And as you watch the show regularly, one of my key things I drink here on the show is apple cider. Oh, thank you. Wow, I'm getting so many bolts. So, man, it's just, thank you so much, Dark Shadow. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone here, all the new people. You're much appreciated. If I didn't see your question, it's not that I'm ignoring you. Things are happening scrolling so fast here, I couldn't quite get it all at once. And I hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Tomorrow night we're on at 11. We should be on at 11. Please show your support by doing some gifting. If you have TikTok coins, you can do some gifting right now. We'd appreciate it. Like I said, we're here to do, as a talk show host, not only a talk show, but we're also doing the mission work. We have a lot of knowledge on a galactic level, and we can share stuff. We don't channel anything. We don't go using hocus pocus. We don't throw cards in the air. We don't have a crystal ball. We give you real stuff here. And if you've gotten anything out of this show tonight, I hope you did. I hope you'll come back if you're new and make this one of the shows you're going to watch on social media, because that's what we do here. So it's about that time. Let me just see. Let's see. I felt UFOs behind the clouds. Interesting. I'm just going quickly through some I've seen him in a sleep vision, Jesus, and he said, only he can see me. Interesting. Perception. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. They believe being different from every individual. My star family showed me last night who they are. It was beautiful. Hey, Liz. I'm so glad to hear that. My private is following. Thank you. License Pro says, is the Vatican City sitting on a UFO landing site? That's a great question. That is an incredibly good question. I'm going to have to meditate on that one, License Pro. I'm going to have to meditate on that one. I really think that's interesting. I do believe that they have in the Vatican, somewhere in the depths of the Vatican, information on the galactic areas. Okay, let's see here. I'll have to look at that. Whose star family is pink and purple? I don't know. Liz, I'm not sure about that. Pink and purple? I'm not really sure. But if you meditate, Liz, you can find out. Just meditate on that. Ask, what that is. Go in meditation. You'll have the answer for me, and you can tell me the answer. I have spirit friends from every part of the cosmos. Hey, 10 plus. I'm glad to hear that. Will my children come with me? Yes. You talking about will your children come with you when the star people come here? Your children, all children, will definitely be able to interact with the space people. So yes. Don't worry, be happy. I like that. Well, I'm jealous now. I want a star family. You have one. You do have a star family. Don't be jealous. You have one already. You just don't know who it is yet. Everybody here has a star family. You just have to remember, you will eventually get to learn how to do that. And I will teach people a little bit more on my show how to connect with their star family the next time I'm on here. Also, I do interviews with people. So if you had any encounters or visitations with space people, we want to hear your stories tomorrow night. If you had any UFO sightings, want to hear about them. And we do all that kind of stuff on the show. Tonight was a really special night to get into what I really felt was important about the upcoming things in the next few years happening on our planet, and people need to be ready. All right, so I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for all your gifts. I would like to get some last minute gifts. We got to 93.9. I want to hit 100,000 before I sign off here. And that means if everybody taps, we have over 300 viewers here around the world. We will hit 100,000 in 2 minutes, 3 minutes max. Everybody. 300 people and everyone tapping and not just 2 or 3. We can hit 100,000. I'm looking at the top of the screen. And until we get there, I'm just going to take a quick look at some of the other things. Anything to the April 8th theory floating around, I don't know what that is, Dexter, the gold. I'd have to do some research. I don't know what that April 8th thing is. Everyone comes from Mother Africa. Africa started everything. So let's put it in a wider perspective. Everything came from God, not from one specific part of the world. Everything came from everywhere. When we try to compartmentalize things into one area, that kind of limits everything. So I don't know about the Africa thing, but I do know that everything came from everywhere and everything is the way it's supposed to be. Michael Castaneda, Majestic 12, that was a program in the 60s that existed, just like Project Blue Book. Give me 1 second here. Okay, we're back. So it's time. We got to 100,000. That's great. So we're going to sign off. Thank you so much, CmdrAleon, for the curl. That was very much of a blessing. Yeah, Alexi, I missed your question. Can you give me the question again, Alexi, before I go? Can you give me your question again? I want to answer your question. I'm going to go straight to the latest question. Alexi, give me your question again and I'll answer it. I'll be looking for your question here. I'm going to get Alexi's question and we can call it a night. I know they've been trying to ask me a question, and for some reason, there's so many questions, comments, I missed it. So, Alexi, if you're still there, try to give me your question one more time. The elites have underground crafts and blue beam. They will not reveal themselves. They live in. Not sure about that. Whatever the elites have, it doesn't matter, because when contact happens, no matter what the elites have or don't have, won't even really matter anyway, because of the contacts that are going to happen with the people of Earth. Lauren, yes, we're not alone. Alexi, if you're still there, I'd like to get your question. For some reason, reptilians race rule? No, they don't rule anything. And that's an illusion. That's been something on the internet, all these websites about reptilians. The reptilians have had to leave the planet because of what's going to be happening. They rule actually nothing. Matter of fact, the reptilians have been blasted out. Any remnants of them still being here on Earth are going to be they're going to be told to leave. That's right. New Laura Lee says, relax and accept. When are the contacts going to happen? They already started. I've had people on since I started my show here last year at the end of 2022, 23 when I came on here. I've interviewed many people that have had contact with light beings, star family. It's individually happening for people, but it'll happen with more people as we get into this year, into 2025. A lot of people will be having more contacts on an individual basis. The mass contact will, I think, be heightened by the year 2027. Lauren says, I have been spraying the air. I've met a few ET people. I don't know where the other person was that had the questions here. I, for some reason, don't see that person. Well, folks, it is getting late. I want to thank you all for being here. Go to my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, for my previous shows. This show is going to be on my YouTube channel. I'll be downloading this for YouTube, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. It'll be on there by tomorrow. Laura Ann, thank you. Everybody, I want to thank you. If I haven't acknowledged you, I do acknowledge all of you out there. Don't take it personal. I care about all the viewers out here. I do see you. If I miss you, there's so many people asking me. Things have been scrolling so quickly. I'll get to you tomorrow night. And if you want to be on the show, if you have 200 plus followers, you can go on live on audio on TikTok with me. And if you have 1,000 followers, you can do audio and video. Liz, thank you. Everybody, thank you. All the new people that found the show tonight, I hope you'll join us tomorrow night for another exciting show of encounters. And you all have a good night. Take care. Do the meditations. Get centered. And do it in a Christ-conscious meditation. And you'll do just fine. Take your time. You know, it's not like an instantaneous thing. If you're new to this thing, take your time. And you'll be able to get there. We'll help you get there on the show. There's a lot of people here that have been doing the meditations. They can assist you. So take care, everybody. Maddie, everybody, take care. Have a good night. This has been Encounters, a show that's out of this world.